Let's now look at memorisation, and I'm going to do this in two parts. So here is part one. I'll start with a quote. The richer the sensory tapestry, the stronger will be the memory trace that is formed during encoding. Now, this scholarly quote asserts the more senses we use whilst learning, the stronger our recall. So we shall see how visual, oral and motor senses all contribute to learning from memory. Memorisation, or colloquially singing off copy, usually unnerves most amateur choral singers, not because they can't remember the notes or the words, but the two together can be problematic. It's made worse if you're performing in public, as there's no prospect of taking a sneaky look at the crib, not to mention performance nerves. However, it is interesting to see the trend emerging in professional performances where choral music from the Western classical canon is performed without scores, instrumental as well as vocal. Surely, therefore, there must be a process and set of techniques for achieving this, which may well provide singers with the confidence that they can manage it too. Looking quickly then at the demands and merit of memorisation, we realise that it takes effort and practice to learn and perform complex vocal music. But once the process is embedded in our musical practice, it becomes familiar and retrievable. But why sing off copy? Firstly, it improves the quality of the performance and engagement with the audience. If singers sing with their eyes and audiences listen with their eyes, eye contact is essential. Secondly, memorising music allows a more sophisticated delivery in that all parts can concentrate on each other's lines, including the voices of the orchestra. And finally, memorisation manages the acoustic delay, providing we keep the conductor in our eye line. The first step then is visual. So I'd like you to analyse and mark up your scores on page 83. And this is bars 163 through to 175. Now, when you mark them up, observe the changes in dynamics, breath marks to help phrasing, patterns of rhythm and text, variations in tempi, and interaction with other voice parts and instruments. Now, you might like to look at the transcript or rerun the video there to make sure you've got a good list. Now, without singing, read the marked up score to hear the melody using your oral sense. Note difficult pitches and rhythms and repeat whilst listening to the Gardner recording and the time 0303 to 0336, 33 seconds. So once you've done that, now sing through to La. Use a pitch tuner for your opening note, your E flat. In addition to the pitch tuner, set a metronome where a minim is 54 beats per minute, and tapping your feet, concentrate on the pulse and the emphasis of the beats. Now, by doing this exercise, you're committing the music without the text into your working memory. When you're happy with that, repeat the exercise, singing again with the Gardner recording. Now let's move on to the text. Let's look at Nisi, Dominus and the Gloria. We note, as I've said before, that the parts are the same. So rather than being two choirs, we've got all sopranos singing together, all altos, etc. The only text we need to remember is very familiar. It's Glory be to the Father and Son and Holy Ghost. However, sung in Latin. So that would be Gloria Patri et Filio et Spiritui Sancto. Now, I didn't try to put the breaths in appropriately or get the phonetics right there. So what we've got to remember is we want a unified vowel sound that helps us to remember the text. All of the R's should be rolled and vowels made bright to keep the pitch. So not glor, but Gloria. And not filio, but filio. And finally, not sanctus, but sanctus. So if we say these together, it would sound like Gloria Patri et Filio et Spiritui Sancto. Taking your breaths between the patri and et, and between the filio and et, and finally between the spiritui and sancto. So you practice putting that together, you will have started to commit this to memory, and we'll address the remainder of the activity in another video.